Welcome to another short tutorial from Advanced Technical Services regarding MadgeTech V4 data logging and use of the software. We've had a question from one of our users to describe the difference between the datasets and reports and how they're used. So I'll try and accomplish this in this short video. So first off, when we get the datasets, after we've downloaded the information, we've got what we call the datasets, and the datasets is a raw data that's come in from the data logger before we've done anything. MadgeTech differentiates that from a report. Once we've used the dataset to create the report, and anytime we save things, we're actually saving the report as a report, whether it be a graph, statistics, or the datasheet view. It all gets saved as a report. What I've found is that if you want to combine various channels onto one graph, you need to do that from the datasets. Also, as you do quite a lot of logging, you'll end up with quite a large list of files in the dataset window. So a couple of things is we can manage the dataset window and create some new folders. So just by right clicking on datasets, there's an option for new folder. If you want to rename it, click in there and we'll rename that folder to sample datasets. So once we've finished with the dataset, if we move it from the main dataset window into one of the folders that you've created, you could create them for machines, or you could create them for clients and things like that. So to move a dataset, it's quite simple. Hold the control key down and click the sheets that you want to move, then right click and go move to folder, and then under the folder, if you double click it, we'll move that to sample datasheets and go OK. So we'll now go into sample datasheets, and we've now got these datasheets saved there. The same goes with reports. You can create multiple folders under reports if you want to better organize your system. So we'll call this sample reports. Okay, so we've got in our sample data sheets multiple channels that we've logged. So if we either hold the shift key down and click the first and last items, it'll select everything in between. Or if we hold the control key down, we can deselect just ones that we want, or select ones that we want. Okay, right click, so we'll go open, we'll bring them all onto one report. If we want to add them to an existing report, it'll show us the reports that we have open at the moment, in this case just Untitled Graph, or we could create a new report. And what do we want to create? A graph, the data table, or the statistics? So in this case, we'll create a graph. It's going to prompt us for a title, so we'll call this sample report. So you can see we've got a graph down here with all the channels. This asterisk means that this is not saved, so if we save, we'll give it a name. Sample report's already got a name, so we'll hit save. And the asterisk should disappear, which it has, and it will be sitting here in the reports. So to move that report, we'll just go move to folder, click on the reports, double click, sorry, open sample reports, and then go open, and that'll now be moved to that. And that just helps you organize your folders. Okay, so once we've done editing on the report, let's say we want to change a color, so we'll go to report. We need to be on the report tab, and we'll go graph. For some reason these tabs aren't showing as default on mine. Okay, so what we're looking for is the line color, and we'll change that to I don't know, purple. We haven't got purple on there, and we can add an annotation to the graph. So right click and annotate selected point, we'll move that down and we'll just call that test. And so we can now got the asterisk back, so the data that we've updated is not saved, so we'll now save it. Okay, so all that stuff has now been saved under that report. So we can close that report and come back to sample reports, open it up, and everything that we've done has been saved there. We can't actually manipulate or do anything to the data. So under datasets, when we go to the sample here, that's just the data. We can't manipulate it, we can't change it, or do anything at that point. It's just purely the data that came off the data logger. That's protected for security reasons and validation sort of protocols, to give some validity to the data so that you can't alter the data. So whenever we do something to the data, we either need to read it or open it or create a graph or anything like that. MadgeTech creates a report, and it's the reports that we're working with rather than the actual data set. Once we've got the data sets into the graphs that we want, we can work with it there. I've generally always kept my old data sets just in case I need to recreate a report or something like that, and by having folders out the side here just helps you organise that data. So in the main folder, I think it's quite important after you've downloaded the data from your data logger to move that data set away into one of these databases, so that makes it easier to look for the data. For example, if you've got 100 logs and you're trying to find a particular one, you've got to scroll through looking at the start date or the download date to try and find which data is which, and it can get a bit difficult to pull it out from there. So after you've created your report with your merged files, move the data sets across into one of these files here. I hope that's helped clarify a little bit on organising the MadgeTech V4 software. This is Phil from Advanced Technical Services. You can check out our website on www.madgetech.co.nz. Thank you.